Hello, everybody. So today I have a video for you guys about Kadin Black. And you might have heard about this case before. I know that several YouTubers lately have done this case. I actually heard about it from the account Derek Lavasser. He did it, I want to say like maybe a month or two ago. And that is what prompted me to do my own research and bring this to you guys. But this one, it feels like it's obvious, in my opinion, that we know who did this, and I'm not really sure why, but I feel like who might have played a part in it. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. We don't know for sure, obviously. Just from my research that I've done and then hearing the video that I did, I feel swayed in one particular way. But this person has not been, as far as I know, arrested or anything, or I'm not even sure if they've been suspected completely or anything like that. So that's just my humble opinion. But all the links I use for research will be down below, and let's go ahead and get into this. So 19-year-old Kadin's mom, Kara Patterson, says that her last phone conversation with Kadin was on December 14th, 2022, and she says that they'd been talking about Christmas plans. Kadin was supposed to come and stay at her house on Christmas Eve to wake up there on Christmas morning. But Kara would spend that Christmas worried and watching the door, hoping that Kadin would walk through it, but he never would, because Kadin was missing. So, Kara raised Kadin and his siblings, he had two older and two younger, in Wrightsville, Pennsylvania, and she says that her son is one of a kind. He loved being active and he was very athletic, and he would go to the gym every other day, if not every day, and he just loves riding his bike, working out. That's just like his thing. And Kara says that she remembers Kadin um, saying particularly about the bike. She said that he would say, quote, "These kids nowadays don't get out and ride bikes," end quote. And I just thought that was like a funny little quote. Because I mean, it's true. I don't know. I just thought it was like a cute little bit. So Kara and uh, So Kara's husband and Kadin's dad, they divorced when Kadin was 3, and Maurice Black, the father, says that his son is a community helper and was working on his own lawn care business and was like a big brother to many of the kids in their small town. So he really is just like, just a great kid with a great heart and was just like a good person. In 2019, Kara got a promotion at work and moved to Maryland with Kadin and his two younger siblings. But after a while, Kadin missed his life in Pennsylvania, so he would return to Wrightsville in November of 2021 to live with his dad. In September of 2022, after getting into a disagreement with Maurice, Kadin moved in with his friend Ethan and Ethan's family. Kadin and Maurice still, visited each other pretty often. Kadin usually visited Maurice on Sundays to exercise his dogs, and he had confirmed that he would be coming by the next day when he spoke with his dad on December 17th of 2022. Kadin loved his dogs, which were two pit bulls, and when Kadin didn't show that day, Maurice would begin to worry. Like, this was out of the norm for him. He loved being with the dogs, so it was just kind of weird that he did not do it. On Monday, December 19th, Maurice called Ethan's dad, Chris Faust, to see if he knew where Kadin was, but he was unable to reach Chris. On December 20th, Kara received a call from Chris and asked if she had seen Kadin, and she said no, and that's when Chris told her that they hadn't seen Kadin since December 17th. After this conversation, Chris reported Kadin missing to the Windsor Township Police Department. Chris said to a news outlet that this wasn't weird for Kadin and Ethan to go out all night and come home and then just sleep all day because, they were tired from being out all night. But when a couple days had passed and Kadin still hadn't been seen, he says that they opened up his bedroom door to see that Kadin hadn't been there. Chris says Kadin is a great kid and that they would talk a lot and they would spend a lot of time together. Chris says Kadin's demeanor began to change about 2 weeks before he went missing. And a quote from Chris says, he would come home and just go straight to his room and not come out like he used to, end quote. Kara and Chris both said about 2 weeks before he disappeared, he began working at a local moving company. Kadin allegedly visited the home of a co-worker at the moving company in the days prior, and after he vanished, Kara went to Pennsylvania and to the home location that Kadin had visited. And she asked the man that was there if he had any information, and he said he didn't know Kadin. And this feels like a good time to tell you who I'm feeling is a little shady. Now, this was brought up in Derek Levasseur video, and I just want to say really quickly that in the links that I used, the articles I found from my research, I didn't find anything exactly talking about this, but Derek Levasseur has a great team. Like, they dig a bunch of stuff up, they're able to find stuff. So when this information was brought into the video, I was like, huh. So after Kadin went missing, Chris Faust, Ethan's father, the father of the house that Kadin was living in, he actually blocked the family. I'm not sure if it was like on like all social media, phone number, and all that. I know he blocked them for sure, their phone numbers. I want to say their social media, but I'm not completely sure. I'm not sure how soon after it happened, but I'm pretty sure it was fairly soon after Kadin went missing that he did do that. He blocked the family. Sorry. Or he at least blocked Kara. But I'm pretty sure he blocked Kara and Maurice. And he also had the absolute audacity to sell Kadin's car. There's many problems with that. You don't just sell someone's car just because they're missing, because you don't know if they're coming back. I feel like you would only sell someone's car if you knew for a fact that they would not be coming back. But the other issue is that he did not own that car. So Kara purchased that car. The title holder is Kara. That being said, Chris did pay for the insurance, but he also paid for the repairs. And so he tried to say that because he did that, he owned the car, which is absolutely not fucking true. I know you guys don't like it when I cuss, but the audacity of this man. He tried to actually trick Kara into signing over the title of the car to him to make it easier for him to sell this car. But she did not. She refused. She kept the car in her name, but he still sold it out from under her. So disgusting. And I just want to say really quickly, like, when I heard that, I went to the comment section of Derek's video, and there was one person under every single comment that had to do with, like, why would he sell the car? Like, that's none of his business, that's fishy. There was a single person, a single account, just absolutely defending Chris with their entire might, saying, like, he paid for the insurance, he paid for the repairs, therefore it was his car, he had every right to do so, it's not weird. And I just want to say, we know that you are Chris hiding behind another throwaway account. You don't have to be weird, okay, sir. We know it's you. Or you're his wife, either way. Or you're someone that knows Chris. Because it's just kind of weird how you're popping up in every single comment. But I just want to say that that is actually wrong. Just because you pay the repairs for someone's car and you pay their insurance, or you're on somebody's insurance, does not make their car yours. If the car belongs to the person who has the title. The title was in Kara's name. She never switched that over. It was Kara's car to do with what she wanted. And they should not have done anything with that car, because what if that car had stuff in it? You know, like, it could have been a crime scene that they didn't even know was a crime scene yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have had clues. And you don't just give away someone's car unless you know they're not coming back. And the fact that he did that kind of feels like maybe he knew that there was something in that car that could expose him, or maybe Ethan. I'm not saying that, like, Ethan had anything to do with it. You know, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of a weird reaction. And then coupled with the fact that you blocked the family, you sound really sus, my guy. So I just want to say, if that comment comes to this video and starts to defending Chris, I'm just going to block you because we're not doing this on this. We're not doing that on this video, okay? Like, no, your information is wrong. But I wanted to throw that in here, even though I could not find it personally in any articles, unless I just completely missed it. Derek's team was able to dig that up, and it just kind of like, I was definitely leaning away, but then that completely swayed me to believe that, like, I think Chris knows something about what happened to Kadin, or maybe he had a hand in it because of his actions in the aftermath. Now, I don't want to say, like, it's completely, like, yes, he did this, because we don't know, like, it's still unsolved. So, allegedly, in my opinion, I think he's fishy. That does not mean go harass this man at all. Leave the man alone, because we don't know until we know. But I just wanted to pop in and let you know that, like, that's my thoughts. Anyways, let's move on with the rest of the video. So Chief Jim Thomas noticed that they have talked to Kadin's employer and followed up with information that was provided, and says that no persons of interest are currently, like, they don't currently have any persons of interest, and they currently do not suspect foul play. The chief described efforts in the search as exhaustive, mostly centering around the area where his cell phone last pinged. They were able to retrieve his phone data via a warrant, but they still don't have the physical phone, so the phone is still missing. The area that pinged was large, a 5 to 6 mile radius. There was air, land, and water searches that were performed with the support of many local organizations and agencies that, helped out in the search rescue, but there was nothing that was found. Chief Jim also says that they have checked video cameras, doorbell cameras, businesses, but they have very little information to go on. Kara is grateful for all the work, but believes that they could do a lot more. But they believe that the police department just isn't equipped to handle a case like this, because they are a much smaller police department, and much smaller police departments, they usually aren't ready for, like, missing people. A quote from Chief Jim, he says, "Every lead that we get, we run down and have not been able to come up with some sort of trail. It's like he just disappeared into thin air," end quote. And then another detective says, "We had a perfectly physically fit young man. Basically, one night he's in the house and the next morning he's just not there. We don't have anything pointing specifically to foul play, and we don't have anything specific about any sort of accident or self-harming or anything like that. It's just a big question mark," end quote. That's actually the final bit of the actual case that I have for you. I do have a description. So Kadin has dark brown hair and dark brown eyes. He stands at 5'10", and he has an athletic build. As you will see in the video, I'll have photos of him. He looks very athletic. He played sports. Like, he's just, you'll be able to tell. But he's 160 pounds, and it's unknown what he was last wearing, but Kara says that he's known to wear darker clothing and usually pairs it with, like, white sneakers. Anybody with any information is urged to contact the Lower Windsor Township Police Department at 717-244-8055. Again, that phone number is 717-244-8055. Or Crime Stoppers, Pennsylvania, at 1-800-843-5678. Again, Crime Stoppers, Pennsylvania, is 1-800-843-5678. So what do you think happened to Kadin? Like I said, I definitely think that Chris is a little weird. And again, I want to stress that the police are saying they have no suspects, no persons of interest. They don't even know if it's foul play. They don't think it's foul play. So don't go finding this man and harassing him. Don't, you can think he's fishy without doing all that. Because I believe he has gotten threats before, if I'm not mistaken. I could be thinking of someone else completely. So just don't bother the man. But in my unprofessional, humble opinion, allegedly, I think Chris either knows what happened to him, has some sort of idea, and was maybe protecting someone like Ethan. Again, not saying Ethan did it. Ethan might not have any idea what's going on, um, like what's going on with his friend, or Chris himself could have done something, because him saying like 2 weeks before he went missing, Kadin was like, he changed, instead of like cutting out with the family, he would go straight to his room. And I kind of feel like maybe there was some sort of argument between the two of them. What it could be about, maybe the car or something, and maybe they just weren't getting along in the weeks prior, and maybe something happened. I'm definitely leaning towards Chris knowing something in the very least, but maybe he doesn't. Like, he could be completely innocent. Like, maybe he really just has no idea what happened to Kadin, and he just looks super fishy, and he's just like super unlucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just looks like a possible suspect, and like he knows nothing. He's just very unlucky. And maybe there's a suspect, and we just don't know who it is, and maybe Kadin just left. That is always a possibility. He was a grown adult. Um, Everybody in his life is saying like he did change a little bit before this happened, but this also isn't like him. So it's always a possibility that he just decided to leave. He was a grown adult, he could do that. But hopefully, very soon, we'll have some sort of idea of what happened to him, or something will break this case open. Um, Anyways, let me know your thoughts of what you think down below. Thank you so much for listening to Kadin's story, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.